What's up, YouTube? My name is Mike. I'm the Ground Beef Chief, and today I got for you guys a 24-week update on Carnivore. In this video, I'm going to do a weigh-in, I'm going to do a body shot, and then I'm also going to show you guys how I cut my chuck roast up if I want to make it into steaks opposed to cutting it whole. Sometimes I prefer to cut it up instead of eating it whole because it changes the texture a little bit. I'm able to get a better sear on it, and it's kind of more enjoyable. So to start this video off, you guys, I'm just going to tell you guys what I ate this week and how I feel and all that. So 5 out of the 7 days this week, guys, I had the chuck roast, the 2 pounds of chuck roast. And I ate that about 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon for my first meal. And then about 9 or 10 o'clock at night, I'll have 6 or 7 eggs. I've actually been having the egg salad that I make with the Primal Kitchen mayonnaise, as you guys saw in my last video. And by making that egg salad, it was kind of like changing things up a bit. It's definitely a delicious addition to this diet, and it helped me break through my weight loss stall last week. And I'm just hoping for the same results this week. So in total, guys, I'm having about 3,000 calories a day, give or take. And I just want to mention that I'm not counting my calories. I only do it out of interest. If I want to eat more, I'll eat more. If I want to eat less, I'll eat less. That is how I do things. So I'm not counting calories to lose weight. I'm just counting calories, how much I eat and lose weight. So everybody kind of gets an idea of how much somebody like me can eat and lose weight if you have the similar problems like I do. For anybody new to this channel, I just want you all to know that over the course of almost the last 6 months, I've been doing carnivore. I've been pretty strict. I've not cheated once. At first, it was tough for me to get through the carb withdrawals, but after a couple months, I didn't struggle at all. My cravings have gone away. If I see food videos now, I can watch it without saying, oh man, I wish I could have that, because I'd rather not have anything other than my chuck roast and my eggs, to be honest with you guys. From day one till now, I feel a million times better. I can breathe easier. I can move around a lot more. I'm a lot happier. Along with the happiness comes positivity. I can think a lot more clearly. My diabetes is in remission. My blood pressure is in the normal range. I'm off all medication. My YouTube channel is growing, and my overall health is improved tenfold. Now, with that all being said, you guys, let's go ahead and get this weigh-in done. I'll jump on the scale, and then I'll come back. I'll talk about it for a little bit, and then I'll show you guys how I prepare this chuck roast. All right, before I step on the scale, I'm going to show you guys a body shot. All right, now that I got that out of the way, I'm going to go ahead and step on the scale, and we'll get weighed. All right, you guys, we started this journey off at 650 plus pounds. Today we are 525 pounds. So it looks like I only lost a pound over the last week, bringing me a grand total of 125 pounds lost in 24 weeks. So this number, I gotta say, obviously you guys know how I feel about only losing a pound in a week, especially when I'm having 0 carbs and 0 sugar. But I'm enjoying the diet. I love the food that I eat, and I'll take the 1 pound loss. I'm hoping it speeds up. I have a theory as to why I only lost a pound this week, and that is I've been taking my dog on one long walk every day. So we walk about a mile. We go down the road and back, and it's maybe a little bit over a mile. I'm eating more like everyone suggested in my last video. So I'm going to still give it a couple more weeks by eating more. And if I'm not losing any more than 1 pound a week, I'm going to reduce the amount that I'm eating. Because again, guys, when I eat the egg salad, that adds about 400 extra calories that I wasn't having before onto my diet. So just by eliminating the mayonnaise or the bacon, I can reduce the calories by about 400 without sacrificing too much protein. But I'm going to keep eating the same amount for the next couple of weeks just to make sure that, okay, that I'm getting enough calories and my body's not trying to go into starvation mode or whatever. I'm staying positive though. But all right, you guys, I'm going to show you guys real quick how to process your chuck roast into smaller steaks to make it more enjoyable. And so here goes. So I have here this chuck roast from Walmart. Now, I got this kind. It's different from the other kind that you guys know. I used to get the one in the white tray. This is Angus beef, and it's a product of Mexico. So I don't really care where my beef comes from as long as it's good, and as long as it's not from China. But we have here it's $6.48 a pound, so that's $1.50 cheaper per pound than the last stuff. And it is good stuff. It's not the first time I've used this, but I'm going to show you guys how I process this. All right, you guys. After taking it out of the package, the first thing I do is I dry it off. I take a paper towel and I dap it on both sides so I dry it off. That way, when it's put in the air fryer, it can get that Maillard reaction on the surface. The less moisture, the better. All right, so now this is the parts of the steak right here. This part right here, the long part with the smallest amount of marbling in it, is called a Denver steak. Now, this is mostly a butcher cut, from my understanding. Now, this part right here is the chuck eye steak. Now, this is what they also call a poor man's ribeye. This is the best part. This is the most tender part. This is the most marbled part. And this end right here, this little end cap, is actually, they use it as stew meat. But I don't put it in a stew, you guys. I just go ahead and cook it and throw it in the air fryer. So now that I've identified all the parts of the meat to turn into steaks, I'm going to show you guys how I cut it. So if you see right here, this fat cap right here, this is separating the chuck eye steak from the Denver steak. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this section right here. I'm just cutting right alongside this fat here, and sometimes you can pull it apart, but sometimes the connective tissue stops it. And this does help out if you got yourself a really sharp knife. This knife is a cheap knife, but I got a good sharpener, and I make this sucker really, really sharp. So I'll just go ahead and separate this. I'm doing this with my left hand here to try to keep this in the camera. So boom, you have here a really nice chuck eye steak, guys. I'd say this is almost a pound, maybe 12 ounces right here. That's a really good sized steak. Now, if this is too thick for you, you can cut it in half like this. You can go ahead and place it down on your cutting board and cut it in half. You can butterfly it. I eat the whole chuck roast at once. If you can't eat the whole chuck roast at once, I suggest separating it in 2 meals, and eating your chuck eye steak for one meal, and then eating your Denver steak the next meal. All right, so now that my chuck eye steak is cut off, I'm going to cut off the Denver steak, and that basically gets cut off right here. Boom. Got yourself a nice Denver steak, guys. Now, this is leaner than the chuck eye steak, but it's also a little bit tougher. If I was to actually make a roast out of this, I would put this in the roast, and I would put the stew meat in the roast, but I would not put the chuck eye in the roast. You can also cut this in half if it's too thick, but this is the perfect thickness, so I'm just going to throw it in my air fryer. And this is the stew meat. Now, this is the toughest piece in the whole thing. However, when I cook it in the air fryer, it doesn't really come out that tough. So I enjoy it still, and what I actually do with this usually, this is usually the thickest part, so I usually butterfly this. And to butterfly it, I just go from the fat cap side up, and I just cut it right down the center, like this. Open it up. And just butterfly it, and it makes a nice size steak. But you see this in here, guys? I don't like the texture of this fat. I will cut this out, and I still put it in my air fryer, and I cook it till it's crispy, and I eat it like a chicharrone. So usually you don't have this much fat separating the stew meat from the chuck eye, but that's all right. It makes for good eating. It doesn't matter if you leave a little bit of meat on. This gets that nice Maillard reaction, and it makes it even better flavor. Cleaning it up is pretty easy. All you got to do is kind of pull, like, you got some silver skin right here. Give this to my dog. I don't want to eat that. Just kind of pull it and cut it. Alright guys, now this is what it looks like when it's fully processed. Got your chuck eye steak. your Denver steak, and your 2 stew meats that we went ahead and butterflied, and then the fat that we're going to go ahead and fry up in the air fryer with it. The only thing left to do here, guys, is to go ahead and salt it up. I got some Redmond's real salt. I got the thick stuff, and I'm just going to go ahead and salt both sides. Salt the other side. Now, some people think that that's a lot of salt, but you guys, when you're on carnivore, you need the extra salt. I have not had any issues. My blood pressure's in the normal range. I feel great. So this is how much I salt my food. What I normally do is I keep this in the refrigerator overnight and keep it uncovered, and I like to just let it sit overnight in the salt. It makes for a better flavor. It really sucks in that salt when you do this, but for the purpose of today's video, I'm going to go ahead and cook this and test it out for you guys. Here's a little bit better lighting so you guys can see the cuts a little bit better. Starting from the left here, we have the chuck eye steak. Then we got the Denver steak, the stew meat, and then the piece of fat. Now let's go ahead and throw this in the air fryer and cook it. So I throw it in my air fryer at 400 degrees, anywhere from 16 to 22 minutes, depending on how done you want it. So I like the Maillard reaction on the outside more than I do with it being medium rare. So sometimes it comes out well done for me. Now, when I say well done, I don't mean dry. So the good thing is this chuck roast is very juicy. So even if you cook it well done, it's still great. It's still fantastic tasting. So I just want to let you guys know that's how I cook it. So when it's done, I'll show you guys how it looks. All right, you guys, dinner is served. So this is the chuck eye steak. This is the Denver steak. These are the 2 pieces of stew meat. And this is the fat. All right, so first I'm going to cut into the Denver steak and show you guys how it came out. So that's what it looks like. Nice medium rare, maybe a little bit more than medium rare. All right, let's cut into the chuck eye steak. That's how it came out. A little bit more than medium rare, but it's still going to be delicious. Alright, you guys, so I got a whole plate of meat here. This is my meal 1 of 2 that I eat every day. I just want to show you guys. This is part of the Denver steak. I cut it up nice and thin because it's a little bit tougher than the chuck eye steak. And the thinner you cut it, the easier it'll come apart while you're eating it. Here is the chuck eye steak. It's way more tender than the Denver steak, and it kind of tastes like a ribeye. So let's start off with the Denver steak, you guys. That is so good. And then the chuck eye steak. Really tender. Look, it just comes out so good, you guys. Now this is the piece of fat. I'm actually going to throw it in the air fryer for another couple minutes because I want it to be more crispy. And here's the stew meat. This is the toughest of it all, but it's still really good. Let's do another piece of the Denver steak. I'm sorry I'm eating with my hands, you guys. Just doing this for the video purpose. Alright everybody, that's how you do the chuck roast, and I hope that this helps anybody out that may be having some issues when it comes to enjoying chuck roast. In my opinion, it's the best cut of the cow. It's the most versatile. You can do a million things with it, and I gotta say, I am completely 100% stuffed. Like Dr. Ken Berry says, get comfortably stuffed, and that's what I am, guys. 100% satiated, I feel like $1,000,000. If I was this full off of junk food, I'd be going to sleep, but I'm full of energy because I'm on carnivore. So let me know in the comments if you guys tried my method of cutting up your chuck roast and how you liked it. All right, now before I end this video, you guys, I wanted to give a shout out to my members. So I started a membership on this channel called I Can't Afford Eggs, and what it is anybody that wants to become a member of my channel, it's $1 a month. I made it the cheapest that YouTube would allow. The purpose of the membership is just to assist me in my weight loss journey. I don't want anybody to feel obligated. By no means, I don't look at you any different if you're a member or if you're just a subscriber or just a viewer. There's not going to be any special perks other than a shout out. I want the same thing available to everybody in the public that's available to my members. This knowledge, the carnivore way of eating, should be available to the public no matter what. And that's how I justify doing this. But I will give you a shout out if you're a member in every video. Any extra money that I get from memberships will be funneled right back onto my YouTube channel. Any proceeds towards the membership are going to go for my diet for me and for my dog, because as you guys know, I have a carnivore dog named Rocky. It's going to go to any exercise equipment, and it's 100% going to be for my weight loss journey, and that's it. So if that's something that you guys want to help me out with, feel free to do it. Like I said, don't be obligated. I don't look at anybody differently if you're not a member, even if you've been a part of my channel from the beginning. It's completely and totally up to you. Okay, so this week's members. All right, so our new members are Charles Patek. I hope I'm pronouncing that right. Tammy Rundle or Rundell. Tammy, you're going to have to correct me if I'm pronouncing your name wrong. Colleen Borchardt. Colleen, go ahead and correct me on whether or not I'm pronouncing your last name right or wrong. A-Bear, Kimberly B59, and Lynn Murgatroyd. Lynn was my very first member on this channel. And I want to give a special shout out to Tammy Rundle. Tammy was literally my first subscriber on this channel. She has been here since day one. So Tammy, thank you very much. Tammy's always commenting on all my videos, always showing me love. In the beginning, she was making sure to keep me accountable. If I didn't post the video on Monday, she'd be like, yo, where's the video at? Are you doing okay? And I'd be like, yeah, I'm doing fine. I just can't get in until about Wednesday because of work. So Tammy, I really appreciate you. You've been holding me accountable since the very beginning. You've been my first subscriber and a big supporter of my weight loss journey. And so I really want to show my appreciation to you. And along with the other 5 of yous, thank you guys so much. This is going to help out big time as this channel grows and as I move forward with my journey. So thanks everybody. Alright you guys, I'm going to close out this video. I hope you guys all enjoyed this video. Now don't forget, on Monday I have a doctor's appointment with my doctor for a 6-month blood work and checkup. So that'll be about 6 months since I've been on carnivore. We'll get that blood work done and all that stuff. And that's probably going to be a couple weeks till I can see the results of the blood work. So I'll be able to show all you guys that. But I will talk to you guys again next week. And I appreciate all you for joining in and showing some love. And we'll talk to you guys again next time.